Welcome, dear listener, to a journey beyond time, where myth and legend still breathe in whispers. Tonight, we open the gates of Olympus, high above the clouds, where the gods once shaped the world. Peace rests upon the heavens after the long Titan wars, and the thrones of the Olympians shine bright. Mortals begin to thrive below, building temples, telling stories, and living under divine protection. Yet deep within the earth, a heartbeat stirs, old as stone, heavy as mountains, strong as storms. Gaia, the eternal mother, feels restless, her spirit moved by the fate of her children, the Titans. Her sorrow transforms into resolve, and from her essence rises new beings, vast and magnificent. These are the giants, woven from rock, sea, and flame, carrying the raw pulse of the natural world. Whispers spread across Olympus that change is coming, a new challenge to the gods' shining order. And so begins a tale of destiny, where gods and mortals alike must face a trial of cosmic balance. The halls of Olympus gleam with light, resting calm after storms of battles long since past. The gods sit upon their thrones, their eyes watching the world below with care and quiet pride. Zeus, the king of thunder, surveys the heavens, his hands steady, his will firm, his heart resolved. The war against the Titans has ended, leaving scars but also hope for a brighter age of order. Upon the earth, mortals rise, building homes, fields, and temples. Guided by faith in the divine, they tell stories by firelight, singing praises to the gods who shape sky, sea, and sacred earth. For a time, harmony lingers in the air, a fragile thread woven between immortal and mortal life. Yet even in peace, whispers drift, for no world remains silent, and no balance holds forever still. Beneath the soil, far below mountains and seas, the ancient mother Gaia stirs in quiet thought. She remembers her children, the Titans, cast into shadow, bound deep within the eternal abyss. Her sorrow aches like thunder before a storm, heavy with love, heavy with pain, heavy with loss. The Olympians call their victory just. Yet to Gaia, the memory feels sharp, like roots torn apart. Each tree, each stone, each river carries her voice, murmuring her grief through the living earth. The gods do not hear her sighs, for they dwell in light, content with triumph and sacred law. But Gaia's heart beats slow and strong, echoing through valleys, mountains, and silent caverns. Her grief becomes resolve, her spirit shaping thought into will, her will shaping form in silence. From that silence rises a new kind of power, ancient yet young, raw yet unshaped, vast yet hidden. This power will soon take form, yet for now it sleeps in the heart of the earth, waiting its time. Meanwhile, Olympus shines in gold, its towers crowned by clouds, its gardens blooming with flame. Apollo strums his lyre, his music weaving joy among the halls, lifting spirits high above the sky. Athena studies scrolls of wisdom, her eyes clear as crystal, her mind sharp as the edge of dawn. Hermes moves swift as wind, carrying words and laughter, a messenger to mortals and immortals. Artemis roams the wild, her bow a guardian of forests, her spirit bound to moonlight and night. Together, they weave a tapestry of order, each god a thread, each gift a star within the heavens. Zeus watches this harmony, his gaze steady, yet beneath his calm lies a spark of quiet unease. He knows the world is vast, and in its depth, forces beyond sight may yet awaken and rise. Still, he holds faith in Olympus, in the unity of gods, and in the strength of destiny's promise. The mortals flourish under their care, guided by omens, rituals, and the sacred bond with gods. In fields of wheat, prayers rise. In mountain shrines, fires burn. In seas, sailors call on Poseidon. Every corner of life glows with the presence of Olympus, shaping time, guiding fates, guarding souls. But destiny is never silent, and the earth remembers what the heavens choose to forget. Beneath the peace of Olympus lies the pulse of ancient memory, slow and deep as rivers of stone. Gaia's voice grows stronger with each passing season, rising like roots breaking through the soil. Her grief will not fade. Her resolve will not weaken. Her will shall soon touch the world above. Yet in this moment, Olympus glows, the gods rejoice, and mortals dream under the stars of peace. This is the calm before the storm, the breath before thunder, the silence before the song begins. Deep beneath the quiet soil, Gaia's heart trembles, carrying sorrow that grows into something vast. Her grief becomes a seed of power, hidden in the dark, nourished by roots and rivers unseen. Each sigh of wind, each crack of stone, each whisper of leaf feeds the hidden strength within her. The world above glows with peace, yet the earth below dreams of voices that will soon awaken. Gaia calls upon the depths, her voice echoing through caverns, through magma, through endless night. Her words are not of rage alone, but of love for her children, bound beneath chains of destiny. She shapes her pain into life, her will into form, her sorrow into towering beings of wonder. From the mountains rise shapes of stone, their limbs vast, their eyes burning with ancient fire. From the ocean surge figures crowned with salt and spray, their breath heavy as storm and tide. From the forests, step giants clothed in roots and vines, their steps shaking the soil into song. They are the giants, born of earth and sky, immense spirits bound to nature's raw and primal force. Their voices thunder like storms, yet carry the rhythm of rivers, winds, and living mountains. They do not know cruelty in their first breath, only purpose, only the calling given by their mother. Gaia whispers, Asterisk. You are my strength, my answer, my guardians. Rise and remind the heavens of balance. Asterisk. The giants lift their faces to the sky, their eyes glowing with sparks of fire, water, and stone. They feel the weight of destiny upon them, for they are children of earth, yet heirs to a struggle. Some carry flames within their hearts, their veins glowing with heat, their breath a breath of embers. Others bear the calm of oceans, their hair flowing like tides, their voices rolling like deep waves. Still more shine with starlight in their gaze, their hands heavy with strength, their steps like thunder. Together they form a chorus of power, a rising force meant to challenge the rule of Olympus. The earth trembles not in fear, but in recognition, for nature welcomes its children once again. Animals stir in forests, birds cry from the sky, rivers leap with foam, seas roar with approval. Every element responds to the giants, for they are the living heart of Gaia made flesh. Their first steps are heavy, yet filled with purpose, a slow march toward destiny's horizon. Above, Olympus still shines, the gods unaware of the power now born beneath their watchful sky. Yet faintly, the air grows still, as if the world itself holds its breath before the coming change. The giants gather in secret valleys, their voices weaving chants that echo through stone and fire. They call upon their mother, and she answers with warmth, her love wrapping them like a cloak. Her sorrow has given them shape, but her hope gives them direction to restore what was lost. They hear the tale of the Titans, once proud, now buried deep, shadows in endless darkness. They hear of the gods' triumph and the chains that bind the ancient children of Gaia forever. The giants carry this memory as a torch, a flame of purpose that will guide their rising path. They are not yet warriors, but symbols, embodiments of Earth's unyielding and eternal spirit. Their steps mark the soil, their hands carve mountains, their voices ripple through every field. The prophecy whispers through the wind. The giants may rise, but only with mortal hands will they fall. This secret remains hidden, waiting for the hour when destiny calls gods and mortals together. For now, the giants grow in strength and number. Each day another echo, another form, another will. Gaia smiles through her sorrow, for she knows her children will carry her voice to the heavens. The age of calm begins to shift, the balance trembles, and the world prepares for a new chapter. This is the birth of the giants, a tale of Earth's power rising, vast, eternal, and unstoppable. High upon Olympus, the air carries peace, yet the sky holds an unseen weight pressing on the gods. The giants walk the earth below, their presence felt in the trembling ground and restless seas. Though hidden from mortal eyes, their power spreads like dawn light creeping over distant hills. Whispers of prophecy rise once more, a truth spoken in riddles, feared yet impossible to ignore. It is said that the giants may overthrow Olympus if destiny grants them the right to ascend. Yet one line within the prophecy binds hope. Without mortal hands, their triumph cannot come. This truth drifts across Olympus, a secret heavy, with both dread and the spark of reassurance. The gods gather in council, summoned by Zeus, their thrones shining within the golden hall. Each deity arrives with questions, their hearts carrying both courage and the weight of wonder. Athena speaks first, her voice calm, sharp as wisdom carved from stone, steady as the dawn. She reminds them that prophecy is not fixed, but shaped by choice, shaped by courage and will. Apollo strums his lyre, weaving notes that echo the future, a harmony hiding shadows of fate. His music speaks of balance, of light breaking through clouds, of order surviving the storm. Hermes, ever swift, tells of strange signs among mortals, omens traced in stars and restless winds. Artemis whispers of forests trembling, of rivers breaking their calm, of beasts stirring at night. Poseidon, lord of the sea, speaks of tides that rise unbidden, as though pulled by unseen hands. Each voice forms a chorus of concern, a reminder that the world itself feels the weight of change. Zeus listens in silence, thunder resting in his eyes, his hand steady upon the scepter of kings. He knows the prophecy well, each word carved deep in memory like lightning upon dark skies. The giants cannot be defeated by gods alone, for destiny calls upon the mortal hand of man. This truth unsettles the Olympians, for they rarely depend upon mortals in matters of eternity. Yet Zeus lifts his voice, deep as storm clouds, strong as mountains, certain as the turning sky. He declares that prophecy is not a chain but a path, a road to be walked with courage and unity. If mortals must play their part, then so it shall be, for gods and mortals share one destiny. The council stirs, their unease eased by the certainty of Zeus, their trust rekindled in his voice. Still, the question lingers in every heart. Which mortal will rise to meet the call of fate? The prophecy speaks not of many, but of one, a single hand bridging the mortal and divine. Some gods glance to the earth below, to heroes known and unknown, their lives still unfolding. Athena muses of mortal wisdom, Apollo of mortal song, Artemis of mortal courage in the wild. They sense the threads of destiny weaving toward one yet unborn of Olympus, yet tied to it. Meanwhile, Gaia's children grow restless, their power rising like mountains from the sea floor. They look to the sky, their hearts stirred by longing, their voices heavy with ancient purpose. The giants feel the pull of prophecy too, though its meaning is veiled like stars behind clouds. Some whisper of triumph, others of balance, but all know their path will reach Olympus. The earth grows louder with each passing day, its rhythm echoing with the pulse of destiny. Mortals too begin to dream of strange visions, their sleep filled with storms and blazing fire. Priests read omens in the smoke of offerings, seeing shadows too vast for human eyes. Fishermen sense tides shift strangely. Farmers hear the soil groan. Shepherds fear the sky. The mortal world stirs as surely as Olympus, bound to the same prophecy, bound to the same fate. And so, between gods, mortals, and giants, a thread of destiny pulls tighter with every breath. Zeus knows the storm is near, yet he holds to faith that unity shall outshine the threat of chaos. The prophecy stands as both warning and guide. Without mortals, no victory. Without gods, no hope. Thus the stage is set, not in violence, but in choice, courage, and the bond between earth and sky. The earth begins to stir with greater force, its breath rising like smoke, its voice heavy as thunder. The giants, once hidden, step boldly into the open, their shadows stretching across valleys and seas. Each movement shakes the land, each word rolls like distant storms. Each glance sparks mortal fear. Villages whisper of mountains walking, of forests bending, of rivers changing course in one night. Mortals tremble at strange signs, yet they do not understand the true weight of what has awoken. The giants feel the pull of destiny. Their eyes turn skyward, fixed on the bright halls of Olympus. They raise their voices in chants, low and deep, echoing through hills. A chorus born of the earth. Their song is not cruel, but solemn, filled with purpose, filled with the promise of their mother. Gaia speaks within their hearts, urging them to rise, to claim a place beside or above the gods. The balance of the world shifts, as if every tree, every wave, every stone leans toward change. On Olympus, the gods feel the tremor, the subtle weight of power that moves against the heavens. Zeus senses the stirrings most clearly, his gaze sharp, his heart beating with steady resolve. The air above the mountains grows tense, the sky darker, though no storm clouds yet appear. Apollo halts his song, his strings silent, as visions dance before his eyes of fire and shadow. Artemis feels the forests restless, the animals fleeing paths unknown, the night thick with omen. Poseidon hears the seas groan, waves rising higher than winds should carry, tides unbound by moon. Athena studies the stars, their patterns broken, their light twisted into warnings of fate. Each god feels the shift, the world itself unsettled, as though a giant hand presses upon its heart. The giants now gather at the edges of mountains, their numbers vast, their strength undeniable. Some wield the power of storms, lightning crackling in their gaze, thunder beneath their steps. Others glow with fire, their breath hot, their limbs streaked with molten streams of living flame. Still more tower like forests, their hair woven with branches, their arms clad in living vines. They stand not as beasts, but as children of earth, noble, vast, and filled with ancient purpose. Mortals witness them from afar, falling to their knees, unsure whether to worship or to fear. Some call them gods, others call them monsters, but all know they are greater than any mortal king. Stories spread swiftly, carried by sailors, shepherds, and wandering bards through every land. The world learns of Gaia's children, and the air grows heavy with expectation of what must come. Upon Olympus, Zeus calls once more for counsel, his voice carrying the weight of storm and fire. He speaks of what all already know. The giants are rising, their power swelling with each breath. The gods listen in silence, their thrones gleaming, their eyes fixed upon the King of Thunder. He warns them that this is no mere rebellion, but a shaping of destiny itself, a trial of balance. Athena advises patience, urging wisdom, seeking paths that avoid ruin and endless strife. Apollo speaks of harmony, of guiding light, of music to counter chaos, to restore sacred order. Hermes suggests cunning, weaving cleverness into their plans, turning strength against itself. Poseidon growls with resolve, ready to raise seas, to protect Olympus with the fury of waves. Artemis pledges the wild, the forests and beasts, the moonlit bow drawn in silent guardianship. Yet Zeus reminds them all that prophecy binds them. Without mortals, no victory shall be won. This truth unsettles their pride, yet it also offers hope, a bridge between heaven and earth. The gods agree to stand together, but their eyes turn to the mortal world, searching for a sign. Below, the giants march onward, their voices rising in chants that shake mountains and seas. They do not yet strike Olympus, but their presence grows like storm clouds gathering at the horizon. The heavens grow tense, the earth louder, the seas restless, the forests whispering of change. All creation stands at the edge of silence, waiting for the first thunder to break the calm. This is the rising challenge, the hour when the giants reveal their strength before the gods. The sun sets, and twilight stretches its veil across the earth, soft but restless, glowing with unease. On Olympus, the council disperses, yet their thoughts remain heavy, bound to the visions of prophecy. Zeus stands alone upon the peak, the sky around him humming, the stars trembling in faint response. He recalls the words of the Fates, spoken in secret, warning of the trial that no god could escape Mortals, they said, must join the struggle, for only their courage could seal the balance of worlds. The king of gods breathes deeply, his thunder quiet, his will sharpened by the weight of destiny. Below in the mortal lands, life continues, though whispers of giants creep into hearth and song. Farmers glance toward mountains, shepherds guide flocks with haste, sailors fear shadows on the waves. Yet in their hearts burns resilience, a flame that even storms cannot quench, nor giants silence. Among them walk heroes unknown, their paths unwritten, yet their spirits already strong as iron. In quiet fields, young men dream of honor, their hearts eager, though they know not what awaits. In shaded groves, wise women tend fires, whispering prayers, weaving hope into fragile futures. Children gaze at the skies, pointing at stars, their laughter unbroken, their faith pure and bright. The world prepares in silence, though it knows not yet the role it must play in cosmic design. Gaia, deep within her ancient heart, feels the stir of mortal courage, a thread she cannot control. Her giants march, yet she knows the path is not straight, for destiny bends in mysterious ways. The Earth Mother's song grows louder, urging her children forward, though doubt flickers in shadows. Some giants pause, gazing upon villages, their vast eyes softened by the innocence they behold. They see mortals not as foes, but as fragile sparks of life, fleeting yet radiant, brief yet wondrous. Still, the pull of Gaia's will is strong, and their steps return to the rhythm of rising power. On Olympus, Hermes prepares to descend, his sandals swift, his message bound for mortal ears. He is chosen to bridge the gap, to seek those who might rise, who might stand with gods in trial. His heart races with excitement, for he loves the mortal world, its wit, its flaws, its boundless hope. Athena gathers scrolls and knowledge, ready to guide the chosen with wisdom and divine clarity. Apollo tunes his lyre, crafting songs of courage, preparing to weave light into mortal resolve. Artemis readies her bow, a silent promise to guard the brave, to shield them with moonlit strength. Poseidon listens to the tides, waiting for the hour when seas will carry heroes across the deep. Each god prepares in their own way, for they know the hour draws near when mortals must be called. Yet Zeus holds the heaviest burden, for he must reveal to mankind the truth of what is to come. He knows trust is fragile, that mortals fear the gods as often as they honor them in temples. But he also knows the prophecy, that without them Olympus will fall, the heavens broken as stone. The night deepens, stars glimmer, and silence reigns over valleys where giants tread like shadows. Mortals sleep uneasy, their dreams touched by visions of fire, storm, and voices not their own. Some awaken with fear, others with strange courage, as though destiny stirs them from within. The boundary between worlds thins, gods watching mortals, mortals sensing gods, a veil drawn thin. The story shifts now, from Olympus to Earth, where men and women unknowingly hold the key. For the fates have woven their thread, binding mortal hearts to divine hands, shaping the unseen. The giants gather strength, the gods prepare, but it is the mortal spark that will soon ignite. And in that spark lies the path of hope, the bridge of balance, the promise of harmony restored. The dawn rises, painting the skies with gold. Yet beneath the beauty lies a hush of heavy expectation. On Olympus, Hermes descends at last, swift as wind, his path cutting across clouds and mortal field. He lands among villages, his form radiant, yet cloaked enough not to blind those he comes to meet. The people gather, curious and wary, unsure if this visitor is a blessing or an omen of dread. Hermes speaks with warmth, his words weaving comfort, his tone carrying both urgency and hope. He tells of a world trembling, of giants rising, of a fate that mortals must share with gods alike. At first, silence follows, heavy and still, for few dare imagine standing in matters of the divine. Yet slowly, questions emerge, voices soft but firm, courage flickering like embers in the wind. Why us? They ask. When gods hold thunder, seas, and flame, What role can fragile mortals play? Hermes smiles, his eyes kind, and answers, "'Cause you hold what gods cannot, faith, will, and choice." He explains the prophecy, that only with mortal hands can Olympus secure its lasting balance. Some tremble, some frown, yet others feel the stirring of destiny, the call of something greater. Among them rise figures who will shape the days ahead, though they know it not yet in full. A shepherd with keen sight, whose heart is steadfast, whose loyalty shines brighter than fear. A healer whose touch brings calm, whose wisdom of herbs holds power beyond blades or fire. A hunter, swift and true, guided by stars, with patience as endless as the night sky above. A poet who speaks with clarity, whose words can kindle unity, or still the fires of despair. And a youth of unknown birth, quiet yet fierce, carrying a secret spark no one yet perceives. Hermes sees them all, his heart steady, for he knows these are the threads the fates have woven. He blesses them not with weapons, but with knowledge, courage, and the guidance of Olympus. The village watches as these few step forward, uncertain but resolved, chosen by destiny itself. Meanwhile, in distant lands, similar stirrings arise. Mortals feeling the call in many forms. Sailors dream of guiding ships through storm. Farmers dream of harvests saved by divine light. Across the wide world, sparks of courage awaken, bound unseen to the great trial yet to come. On Olympus, the gods watch in silence, their hearts stirred by the bravery of mortal kind. Athena whispers wisdom into dreams. Apollo sends melodies to guide restless hearts at dawn. Artemis guards the forests, preparing paths for mortals who will wander seeking hidden truths. Poseidon stirs the seas, shaping tides that will carry chosen ones safely across vast waters. Each god plays a part, weaving the unseen net that will hold together heaven and earth. Zeus, from his high throne, watches all, his face calm yet firm, his resolve harder than stone. He knows the path ahead is long, that trust must be earned, and courage tested in fire. Yet he also sees the promise in mortal eyes, the light that even storms cannot drown. Far below, the giants march steadily, their song echoing through caverns, fields, and mountains. They chant not of hatred, but of destiny, their voices booming with the rhythm of the earth. Some mortals hear the song and tremble. Others feel strangely drawn, moved by its raw beauty. For the giants, too, are children of creation, bound by love for their mother, not by cruelty. But their path stands against Olympus, and so the harmony of the world hangs on a knife's edge. The stage is set, the mortals chosen, the gods prepared, and the giants moving ever closer. The dawn that began with gold now deepens into a day heavy with promise, heavy with fate. And so the tale continues, with heaven and earth watching the rise of those destined to decide. The day unfolds slowly, its light stretching across hills, yet an air of expectancy clings to every breeze. In the mortal villages, those chosen by Hermes begin to gather, uncertain yet resolute in their steps. The shepherd gazes upon the mountains, his eyes sharp, seeing paths others would call invisible. The healer tends the weak, her hands steady, her herbs glowing faintly with the blessing of Athena. The hunter sharpens his arrows, his movements silent, guided by instincts honed beneath moonlight. The poet sits apart, words stirring within, ready to rise when silence demands a voice of fire. And the youth of unknown birth stands quietly, their heart burning though no one yet sees the flame. Hermes walks among them, encouraging, speaking softly, lifting their spirits with divine presence. He tells them they are not alone, for across the wide earth, others too awaken to their calling. They are threads of one great tapestry, woven by fates, destined to converge in trials yet unseen. The villagers watch with awe, uncertain whether to rejoice or to mourn these chosen among them. Some whisper blessings, others shed tears, for destiny's call is both gift and burden heavy to bear. Meanwhile, the gods above prepare paths, each laying signs, omens, and guidance for mortal hearts. Athena sends dreams of strategy, Apollo sends melodies of courage. Artemis sends visions of stars. Poseidon lifts the tides in rhythm, reminding sailors of strength, whispering of journeys to come. The world itself seems to lean forward, as if creation holds its breath for what lies on the horizon. Far below the mountains, the giants continue their march, their chants resonant, deep, and strong. Their voices echo like rolling thunder. Yet within them lies no hatred, only inevitability of fate. Some among them question the path, gazing at the skies, wondering if balance, not ruin, is possible. Yet Gaia's call holds them firm, her sorrow and resolve binding them to her cause without falter. Her children move with unity, their steps shaking valleys, their breath stirring winds into storms. On Olympus, the gods look downward, their hearts divided between pride and the weight of prophecy. Zeus alone remains unwavering, though even he knows the storm ahead will test heaven's throne. He speaks little now, but his gaze is watchful, measuring both gods and mortals in equal resolve. The chosen mortals begin their journey, guided by Hermes through forests, rivers, and hidden paths. They face not war, but trials of spirit, where courage, wisdom, and unity are tested against despair. The shepherd leads them through rough terrain, his eyes finding safe roads no map could reveal. The healer eases their fatigue, her herbs soothing pain, her words calming fear in darkest hours. The hunter provides food, his aim true, his patience ensuring survival when the way grows long. The poet lifts their hearts, his voice weaving hope, his verses stronger than weariness or doubt. And the youth, though quiet, shows flashes of courage, sparks that even Hermes cannot ignore. One night by the fire, Hermes watches them closely, sensing something hidden in their destiny. He wonders if this youth is more than mortal, if within them lies a power even the gods did not see. But he keeps his silence, for the time has not come to reveal what only the fates surely know. As days pass, the group learns trust, their steps in rhythm, their spirits bound like family forged. They are no longer strangers, but companions, carrying the weight of prophecy together. Across the land, other mortals too begin their paths, though their stories weave in shadows unseen. Each spark of courage, each act of faith, feeds the great design that draws closer with every dawn. The giants move steadily, the gods prepare silently, and mortals walk forward into their fate. The threads of destiny tighten, the balance of worlds leaning, waiting for the moment of meeting. And so part of the tale rests here, with chosen hearts stepping into trials, not of their making. For the true clash has not yet begun, but the foundations are laid, strong as mountains, deep as sea. The night deepens, and the stars shimmer like silver sparks, cast across a dark canvas of eternity. The chosen mortals rest by their fire, their faces lit by glow, their dreams touched by divine hands. In sleep, visions come unbidden, weaving threads of prophecy that stir unease and fragile wonder. The shepherd dreams of mountains rising higher, endless paths twisting into mazes without end. The healer sees rivers turning to light, carrying voices of the sick who call for her tender care. The hunter dreams of arrows flying, not to strike, but to guide stars into patterns of guidance. The poet hears words that shape worlds, his voice lifting lands into song that breaks all silence. The youth sees nothing clear, only shadows, flames, and a choice that splits into paths unknown. When dawn breaks, Hermes smiles, knowingly. Though his eyes reveal, he too has questions unspoken. He leads them forward, the journey long, yet each step builds their bond, firm as woven rope. The earth itself whispers beneath their feet, Gaia's sorrow echoing in the rustle of trees and wind. Far away, the giants gather in secret councils, their voices low, their purpose sharpened by fate. Some speak with certainty, eager to rise, while others hesitate, sensing danger and divine conflict. They're not mindless forces, but children of the earth, bound by love of their ancient mother. Yet Gaia's voice is stern, her command unwavering. her grief urging them onward with no return. Among them stands Alcyoneus, tall as cliffs, his presence steady, his gaze fixed on the horizon. He speaks of destiny not as vengeance, but as balance, a world reclaimed from the high thrones. His words inspire, his certainty anchors them, and their march continues with solemn unity. Back on Olympus, the gods sense the stirrings, their minds sharpening, their hearts conflicted. Athena whispers to her father Zeus of strategies, her mind weaving webs of wisdom unbreakable. Apollo plays his lyre, not for song, but to divine omens, his notes carrying visions to the air. Ares paces restlessly, his spirit yearning, though Zeus holds his hand, urging patience, not haste. Artemis looks to the wild places, calling creatures into readiness, guiding them towards stillness. Poseidon watches the seas, waves rising in rhythm with his heart, knowing tides will soon decide. The gods are not united fully, for even immortals hold doubts when prophecy speaks in riddles. Yet Zeus stands firm, thunder in his silence, for he alone carries the weight of promise unbroken. In the mortal world, the chosen group approaches a river, wide and wild, roaring with force. They hesitate, unsure how to cross, fear tugging at their resolve like shadows stretching long. The shepherd studies the current, searching for patterns, and points to a path half hidden. The hunter secures vines and branches, building a way, his hand steady though the water rages. The healer steadies the others, her calm voice easing panic, her strength unseen yet unshaken. The poet chants softly, his words weaving courage, turning fear into song that steadies hearts. The youth steps forward, daring first to cross, their courage shining though danger surrounds them. Hermes watches, not intervening, for trials must be met by mortal strength, not divine rescue. One by one, they cross, each step a victory, each heartbeat a proof of unity's enduring power. When they reach the far shore, they look back at the raging river, now behind them, conquered. Their bond is stronger now, tested by challenge, renewed by trust, and sealed in shared triumph. Hermes nods with pride, for this is the path not of gods alone, but of mortals shaping destiny. As night falls again, the stars above burn brighter, as if heavens lean closer to watch their steps. The giants move ever nearer, their shadows stretching across plains, their voices low and solemn. The gods prepare in silence. The mortals walk forward, and fate spins its thread tighter each day. The great meeting is not yet, but every moment draws nearer, every choice carving the way ahead. And so the tale unfolds, steady as the river, unyielding as the mountain, and vast as the sky. The dawn rises soft, its light spilling gold across valleys. Yet beneath beauty, the air hums with unease. The chosen mortals march on, their steps steady, their hearts learning the rhythm of shared destiny. The shepherd listens to winds, hearing secrets of paths where danger waits like shadow at dusk. The healer senses sorrow in the soil, the grief of Gaia whispering through roots and fallen leaves. The hunter watches skies, noting signs, eagles circling as if bearing silent messages from the gods. The poet sings softly, weaving courage into the air, his words binding the group into calm unity. The youth lingers near, their silence holding weight, their eyes reflecting flames of hidden power. Hermes leads with ease, his stride light, yet his gaze sharp, for trials grow closer with each mile. They arrive at a forest deep, its canopy thick, its paths winding like veins of the living earth. Here, time feels strange, the air heavy with magic, and silence stretches long between each breath. The group hesitates, for the way forward is unclear, the forest a labyrinth without end in sight. The shepherd marks the ground, leaving signs, trusting his instincts more than logic or reason. The healer calms fear, reminding them that even in darkness, hope is a torch that never fades. The hunter leads ahead, his arrows ready not for battle, but to mark trails back to the beginning. The poet records each step, his verses laying memory, so no moment is lost to the forest's hush. The youth steps quietly, their senses stirred, as though the forest itself whispers only to them. Hermes watches closely, saying little, for he knows sometimes silence reveals more than guidance. Hours stretch like days, yet finally they emerge, the forest releasing them into open plains. They are weary, but stronger, their unity tempered by patience, their trust deepened by trial. Beyond the plains, mountains rise, peaks crowned with snow, their majesty daunting, yet divine. Hermes halts, declaring the next trial will be theirs alone. For gods must not shape every step. He fades into air, leaving mortals with only faith, their hearts trembling at sudden solitude. The group gathers, debating the climb, their voices uncertain, yet resolve burns stronger. The shepherd scouts paths upward, steady and sure, his courage quiet as stone beneath his feet. The healer tends to bruises and fatigue, her hands glowing faintly with compassion's strength. The hunter secures food, his eyes sharp, his patience endless, his presence anchoring the group. The poet sings louder now, his verses echoing off cliffs, his words carrying hope into thin air. The youth ascends faster, their spirit driving them, as if the mountain itself calls them upward. The climb is long, their breath short, yet step by step, they carve their way into the heavens. On Olympus, the gods watch in silence, their gazes lingering on mortals braving sacred heights. Athena nods with pride, Apollo smiles faintly, and Artemis whispers blessings on the winds. Zeus remains still, thunder quiet within him, though his eyes reveal a spark of hidden approval. Far below, the giants stir, their council growing restless, their march heavy with expectation. Alcyoneus speaks of the gods' pride, urging unity, his words binding doubt into firm resolve. The earth quakes faintly, as if Gaia herself sighs, her grief deep as oceans, her will unbending. On the mountain, mortals reach a peak, breathless yet unbroken, their eyes wide with wonder. They behold a view vast as eternity, the world spread before them, alive with beauty and fear. The shepherd kneels, humbled, the healer smiles through tears, the hunter bows his head in silence. The poet recites verses of awe, his words rising like prayer, his voice steady as eternal flame. The youth stands apart, their gaze drawn skyward, their heart burning with power yet unnamed. In that moment, they feel watched, the fates themselves weaving threads tight around their soul. The trial is not yet done, for the mountain hides secrets, its silence heavy with divine intent. But for now, they rest in triumph, mortals who brave the climb, their spirits stronger than stone. And the tale continues, the threads of destiny tightening, the storm of worlds drawing ever near. The night on the mountain is cold, the stars near enough to touch, yet silence weighs heavier than frost. The chosen mortals gather close, their fire small against vast darkness, their hearts beating as one. The shepherd sharpens his staff, eyes calm, his spirit rooted like stone. The winds claw the peak. The healer tends weary hands, her touch warm, her herbs glowing faintly in the light of dying embers. The hunter watches the shadows, keen senses sharp, his presence steady as the bow across his back. The poet hums softly, verses weaving around the fire, words rising like prayers into endless night. The youth sits apart, gaze lost in stars, their heart burning with questions no tongue dares to speak. Hermes does not return, and the group realizes the climb ahead must be faced without divine hand. They rest little, for dreams carry omens, whispers of thunder, roars of earth, and eyes in the dark. When dawn breaks, the mountain glows gold, and the path upward shines like a stairway of destiny. They ascend once more, step by step, breath by breath, their unity, their strength against the height. Halfway to the summit, the air trembles, and the earth shivers as if stirred by a waking giant. The shepherd steadies the group, pointing to safer ground, his voice calm, though fear lingers deep. The healer whispers courage, her presence binding wounds of spirit as well as those of flesh. The hunter leads, eyes sharp for danger, his arrows marking trails across stone and snow. The poet chants louder now, his words battling silence, echoing against cliffs like divine hymns. The youth walk swiftly, fire in their veins, their steps sure with each heartbeat of the climb. Suddenly, the path splits, one narrow and treacherous, the other longer but lost in fog. They debate, but the youth chooses boldly, stepping onto the narrow ledge, faith shining bright. The others follow, their trust stronger than fear, their bond the rope that holds them firm. At the summit, the world stretches wide, skies endless, seas shimmering, mountains endless below. Here the wind roars with voices unseen, the breath of gods and fates mingling in sacred air. The group kneels, humbled by vastness, their hearts filled with awe at creation's boundless wonder. Then, a vision unfolds, clouds shaping into forms, shadows of giants rising across the horizon. Their chants roll like thunder, their steps shaking valleys, their presence nearing divine realms. The mortals tremble, yet hold firm, for their journey has led to this truth. They are not alone. On Olympus, the gods watch, their gazes fixed on mortals, who now share weight of prophecy. Athena whispers of their courage. Apollo smiles at their song. Artemis blesses their endurance. Ares stirs with restless pride. Poseidon rumbles deep approval, while Zeus watches in solemn silence. He knows the hour nears, when gods and giants will meet, and mortals will stand within the storm. Far below, Gaia's sorrow deepens, her children advancing, their unity unbroken, their will steel. Alcyoneus raises his voice, promising dawn where the earth reclaims balance from thrones above. The giants march steadily, their chants echoing across seas, their destiny bound to Gaia's grief. On the mountain, mortals rise, their resolve unshaken, their hearts burning with shared fire. The shepherd vows to guide, the healer to mend, the hunter to defend, the poet to inspire. The youth stands silent, yet within their gaze burns a flame bright enough to rival Olympus. They do not know what lies ahead, only that destiny calls, and their steps must not falter. The mountain wind howls, carrying omens of clash, the world itself leaning toward its trial. Mortals, gods, and giants all move closer, threads tightening, the weave of fate nearly complete. The chosen group descends, ready now, their spirits tested, their bond unbreakable as steel. And so the tale approaches its turning, the meeting of storms, the dawn of Gigantomachy near.